Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, and today we've got some really big news about a new Eevee focus set and about some new decks that are coming. Really genuinely quite big, important news, but I do just want to stop for a second because it's not actually that good a morning. Now, I don't usually talk about stuff like this in the videos, but I do just need to give a massive shout out, condolence, call it what you will, to the Around the NFL podcast, and more specifically Chris Wessling, who I would consider to be my single biggest influence on me as a podcaster, content creator, call it what you will, who passed away this week after a battle with cancer. And this really sucks. This got me. I've never really been affected by celebrity passing or anything like that. I generally find it a little bit silly to kind of mourn somebody you didn't actually know and never really interacted with. But the fact of the matter is that I make my living pretty much now talking about Pokemon cards and making videos and podcasts and all of that stuff. And Chris was very literally the biggest influence on me and the person to whom I looked up to the most. And to see him passing sucks. Like, really sucks. And I needed to note that somewhere. I needed to mark that somewhere. I needed to kind of give a public thanks to him for everything that he did. And yeah, this news sucks. Okay, so with that said, as sad as it is, man, it sucks. Let's talk about this Eevee set, shall we? So, it is Eevee Heroes. It is a set we were expecting. We talked a few weeks ago about Eevee Heroes and how that had been trademarked over in Japan. And I've told you before, many times, that we are going to look at these trademarks. But when we look at these trademarks, we are going to look at trademarks that are actually looking like they are going to be relevant to the TCG, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of research, etc., to try and make sure we're only covering ones that are relevant. Now, our prediction, and it was a very easy prediction to make, incidentally, was that Eevee Heroes would be a set focused around Eevee and would include Vs of all the different Eevees, and that seems to be exactly what we are getting. Now, we do have the South Sheet, and I need to give a massive shout out to the lovely Primal Lugia here over at PokeGuardian.com for helping out with the images and the information. Still one of my favourite people in the community. And what we've got here is 69 cards plus question mark, bearing in mind we are talking Sword and Shield 6A here. So we are talking a mini set, so this does make sense. That is about what we expect from a mini set. We have a release date of the 28th of May, which does actually mean 3 months in a row with sets. Japan had been doing their kind of 2 sets in 3 months, a main, a mini, and a month off. But obviously, we've seen a bunch of months off lately with the pandemic, with releases slowing down. So we've actually got Matchless Fighters, Sword and Shield 5A, coming on March the 19th. We've then got Silver Lance and Jet Black Poltergeist, that double main set, coming on April the 23rd. And we've now got Eevee Heroes coming on May the 28th, which means essentially 3 months in a row with new Pokemon TCG sets. And that shouldn't really surprise anyone. At some point, Japan had to start catching up because they've got targets to hit and all of that. And they were not releasing as often as we would expect. So this is 3 sets in a row, which we wouldn't usually expect around this time, but that does make perfect sense given everything that's gone on. Now, we do have dummy artwork here. Obviously, the dummy artwork shows an Eevee with all of the 8 Eeveelution circled around him, and that really is going to be the hook of the set. From the pack art and from some of the translated information that we have, it seems very much like we are going to be getting 8 Pokemon Vs, which are going to be, well, the Eeveelutions. So Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, Umbreon, Espeon, Leafeon, Glaceon, and Sylveon should all be coming as Pokemon Vs. Bearing in mind this is a 69 card mini set, there is an excellent chance that these will be the only Pokemon V we actually get in the set. That it will literally just be these and nobody else. Now, 4 of these are apparently going to get VMAX cards, but only 4 of them. But we think we know where the other 4 are coming. We'll get there in a moment. We are also going to be getting more Single Strike and Rapid Strike cards returning. So, already confirmation that this Single Strike, Rapid Strike mechanic that started in Sword and Shield 5, we know it's going to be in 5A, we know it's going to be in 6, we now know it's going to be in 6A, so this does seem to be something that is going to be sticking around for a little bit of a while. Now, we are also told that lots of special art cards of Pokemon V and VMAX are included. Now, apparently, this is going to include the biggest volume of special art cards we've ever seen, and that is pretty gosh darn cool. Now, there's also a Japanese word here. You can enjoy Nazatoki too. Now, people who haven't played the Pokemon TCG can also enjoy Nazatoki easily, so this set will be attractive for beginners and collectors. Now, apparently, Nazatoki means something akin to a quiz or a riddle, so essentially this seems to be a set which is going to introduce cards which will make it easier for newer players to actually get involved in the game. And bearing in mind, right, and I'm going to say this right off the bat, this is going to be a hyper popular set. This over in Japan is going to be significantly more popular than a set like Matchless Fighters or even Sword and Shield 6, because Eevee is hyper popular and a lot of the Eeveelutions are hyper popular, so expect this to be a set which is not particularly easy to pre-order. If you want to get your pre-order in for this set over in Japan, do so sooner rather than later. But wait! There's more. Because you see, on that same day, we are also going to be getting a new VMAX special set, Eevee Heroes. And this is the kind of thing we've seen before. You are going to get yourself 8 packs of Sword and Shield 6A and 1 VMAX promo pack, which will contain 1 of 4 possible VMAXs and 3 Holo Energy cards. Now this of course is very interesting because we've seen a set very similar to this being released in Japan in the past. It was that VMAX set that I bought 2 of and actually opened one on the channel. The other one remains unopened. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I will crack and open it at some point. I do not have the mindset to hold on to it for long periods of time. That's just not me. But that, of course, was super interesting because you got 8 booster packs, which at the time was 1 of each set which had been released in the Sword and Shield era in Japan. And then you got a special pack with 1 of 4 VMAXs and 3 Holo Energy. And this was interesting, of course, because you had reprints of Cinderace and Morpeko that nobody cares about, and brand new Delmise and Cramorant, which we absolutely do care about. For what it's worth, all 4 of these VMAXs have since been confirmed to be appearing in Shining Fates, so that is a pretty cool thing. And it seems like that is exactly what's happening here. 8 packs and promo cards and Holo Energy. Now, we don't know what these are, we haven't been told, but there are 8 Eeveelutions. In Eevee Heroes, you are getting 8 Eeveelution Vs and 4 Eeveelution VMAXs. And on the same day, there is this special set releasing, which is going to have 4 mystery VMAXs in. I cannot be the only person that thinks it is extremely likely that we are actually going to be getting 4 Eevee VMAXs or Eeveelution VMAXs in the set, and then the other 4 in here. Do remember, for anyone that's wondering, we've already had Eevee V, and by the time this comes out, Eevee VMAX. Eevee VMAX is, of course, the promo in the Shining Fates Elite Trainer box, which is, like we said, it's heavily allocated, it's going to be hard to get hold of, but it is going to be out there at some point, so even if you can't get it as early as you might want to, it will be out there, you will be able to get hold of it. And Eevee V was released as a promo that came around in 1 and Tin at some point. So both Eevee V and VMAX have been released, or will have been released by the time this set drops. Already have in Japan. So if anybody's wondering why we're getting the Eeveelutions but we're not getting the Eevees, it's exactly that. That is exactly what's happening. So this is all rather interesting indeed. Oh, I should mention it has been confirmed that these promo VMAXs are not reprints, and that was a terrifying thing, right, when I bought that VMAX pack before, because essentially there were 4 possible VMAXs, 2 of them were reprints of not particularly highly played cards, which were basically worthless, and 2 of them were brand new VMAXs that looked pretty playable, which looked really good, so there was a real 50-50 chance of messing it up. But wait! There's more. Because you see, on the same day as we're getting Eevee Heroes and we are getting this VMAX special set Eevee Heroes, we are also getting some high-class decks featuring Gengar VMAX and Inteleon VMAX, which are, again, brand new products featuring brand new VMAXs. Now, I know we have seen an Inteleon V, but let's be super clear about this. This is not going to feature that Inteleon V. Because remember, we just got new promo prints over in Japan of Rillaboom V and Cinderace V, and they are going to be featuring in a campaign where you essentially get a ticket when you buy a box of the set, and then when the next set comes out, you can swap that ticket for a promo VMAX featuring their Gigantamax forms. Remember, the first Rillaboom and Cinderace VMAXs were out. We had them in Rebel Clash, but they only featured the Dynamax forms of those Pokemon. These new ones are going to feature the Gigantamax forms, which means they are going to be all brand new. So, essentially in Japan, they got the promo Pokemon V, the new one, and then they're getting the promo VMAX. This essentially seems to be closing that gap. And if you see from the dummy artwork, and this is official dummy artwork on the official sell sheet, you can see that it is clearly Gigantamax Inteleon. So it is going to be a new Inteleon VMAX and a new Inteleon V. Which, of course, does also help to explain why that promotion we saw in Japan featured Cinderace and Rillaboom, but not Inteleon. They had other plans for Inteleon. Now, we've got Gengar and Inteleon here, and it has been confirmed that in each deck, you will get 3 Pokemon V and 2 Pokemon VMAXs. So, not quite a 4-4 line, but of course it means if you buy 2 of these decks, you will have 6 of the Vs and a playset of the VMAXs, and then you can go and trade away the other 2 Vs for other cards that you want with people that want those cards, which sounds pretty good. It also says there will be playable Ichigeki and Rengeki cards. That's his Single Strike and Rapid Strike, I should say. That's the Japanese names. So again, that is carrying on. But then again, it's being released on the same day as Eevee Heroes, which we know is having them. So, you know. We are going to be getting a new supporter card that will be playable in various decks. The fact that they're mentioning it specifically and saying it will be playable in various decks seems to suggest that it will be a good supporter card, but again, we will have to wait and see as to exactly what that means. Now, these are high-class decks, and as well as having 3 Pokemon V and 2 Pokemon VMAXs, all 60 cards are foil. Every single one of them. Every single card in the deck is foil. That sounds amazing. I am in. And incidentally, I'm going to be trying to pre-order these. These sound really, really cool. But wait! There's more! Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, as well as getting them both individually, you can actually get a double pack. Why would you possibly want to get a double pack? Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Because you get yourself promo cards of Tyranitar V and Empoleon V. No word yet as to what these actually are. Now, do remember, of course, both Empoleon V and Tyranitar V are already, I mean, we've already got English scans of them. They're coming in battle styles. They will have been out for a little while by the time this drops, but probably not long enough to get completely new Empoleon and Tyranitar V, so maybe they're going to be different artwork. I know we've seen special arts of both these cards, but remember, those special arts were in the Battle Stars equivalent Single Strike and Rapid Strike Master over in Japan. So again, I don't think it would just be them. So I'm not entirely sure what these are, whether they're going to be alternate art or what, but my guess would be that they are just going to be alternate art versions of the ones we've already seen. We then have a quick chat about Inteleon. In terms of Gengar, we knew Gengar was going to get a V and VMAX. Gengar gets everything. Gengar is one of those hyper-popular Pokemon that just always gets stuff. You know, we had Mega Gengar. We had a Gengar Prime. We had Gengar and Mimikyu Tag Team. We had Gengar Level X. Interesting to note, we never got a Gengar GX, but then again, we did get a Gengar Tag Team GX, which does kind of help to explain that a little bit. But Gengar always gets the love, ladies and gentlemen, so if you thought we were going to go through the Sword and Shield block, never getting a Gengar VMAX, I'm afraid that was, let's euphemistically say naive. Plus, of course, we know that Gengar has a proper Gigantamax form, and at this stage it seems incredibly likely that all the Pokemon that have a separate Gigantamax form are going to be getting VMAXs at some point before the end of the Sword and Shield block. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of fun things to know, lots of fun things to be had. All coming out on the 28th of May. So if you guys could watch like a bunch of my videos in April, because I get the money from April's videos in May, so that I would have the money in May to buy all these products, I would be rather grateful. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. And then that's it. And now I want to hear from you guys. That is all the information we have. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves in next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.